To welcome our first guest, Yoad, our cybersecurity expert who helps organizations to stay cyber safe. Very warm welcome, Yoad. So, Yoad, can you tell us why to consider cybersecurity, cloud, or both throughout government's priorities?
Well, thank you. That's definitely a great question. I believe that investments into rapid digitization has to be matched with the right cybersecurity budget in order to secure those investments, those products, and their trustworthiness for the eyes of our users. I can also say from a different perspective, it's not nice to be working for an organization that has been hacked. It's a very eerie, a very uneasy experience, and we try to avoid that at all costs. Cyber weapons, if you even include ransomware and human-operated ransomware, typically leverage those kind of attacks in order to perform either espionage, to put their hands on sensitive documents. Financial gain is not typically the case with government, but it's more about reputation. So they want to make sure that by hacking into the very heart of your organization, you want to make sure that you're protected, because otherwise they can just, boast and say, we have been hacking that entity or those administration offices and those ministries, and it doesn't look good on the press whether the attack was successful or not, and even on a very mathematical estimation of what was impacted, the noise, the damage has been done. In order to achieve that, the best way would be to fuse yourself into cloud intelligence. And with cloud intelligence, you want to gather as much signals, from as many sources as possible. And this is why you have to connect to one of the providers that provide you with an intelligent security insights in real time. And this is exactly what we talk about, and we will continue talking about throughout the day with Zero Trust. So definitely things to consider from this answer. Connect yourself to cloud intelligence, leverage the intelligent security graph, which is this whole behemoth of Microsoft signaling, and stay safe, because it's not a good thing to signal that you're perceived weak. Today, cybersecurity is definitely a weapon, and we have to arm ourselves with the right defensive mechanism.
Is it directly imposed by changes of the last year behind us, or related to broader trends?
Yes, thank you very much for this great question. I believe that during the last year, something remarkable had happened on a humanity scale. Nothing short than a rapid change that it will take years even to understand what's happening. And with the pace of the amount of data creation worldwide, we're going to see this phenomenon multiplying or quadrupling every couple of years right now. So we are basically undergoing an explosion of data, an explosion of companies competing for our attention. And the main key now is for simplification, for unification, for everything related to cyber, in order to make sure that we are, on one hand, answering and catering to the needs of our employees, that most of them still and for the foreseeable future going to work from home as the first frontier. So we have to adopt identity is the know-all. Identity is the master, is the key to the kingdom. Only once validated in real time. And we're going to have a live estimation about what this identity and the person behind it trying to do. Adversaries changed their ways into capitalizing on the human innate fear that has been dominating the news and also the minds of the people. So to create a more targeted phishing campaigns, to create some more polymorphic campaign that can change on the fly in order to make sure that that the attacker stays persistent, hidden, of course. So they're changing their tactics. We have to adopt as defenders, as responders, but with the right flexibility and agility to allow every information worker in our organization, in our entity or ministry, to be able to access remotely, safely, and easily to do their job. And maybe lastly on that, I would say that we have to have a classification method and a classification metrics for our data in order to make sure that every employee, regardless they're from, know exactly what type of data and to which sensitivity level each piece of data belongs to. This is very important, especially when not everybody's working from the office.
Thank you for answering. So what is then zero trust concept, and what is this supposed to uncover and bring to government organizations?
So going into zero trust, this is also going to be definitely a topic that we're going to dive in, delve in, all those nice acronyms, because this is the right methodology to adopt at real time right now. Basically it says, trust the individual, don't trust the identity, or in other terms, also have an assume breach mindset, that even if you have many security mechanisms, right, on different layers of protection, what used to be still being called, but it's not the dominant one today, the defense in depth. So you can protect the perimeter, the network, devices, identity on many fronts, but at some point, and it keeps us, a little bit humble on that, those will fail, and we potentially find ourselves with an attacker crawling or prying into our environments. I definitely invite you to look into tools like conditional access, which has a real-time assessment of identity, to work with EDR, those endpoint solutions that work across the gamut of getting information from cloud intelligence and helping remediate, prevent, detect, and block threats in real time, while you have one holistic security operations center that is also able to be connected to I call it the plug, the intelligent security graph. This is how we refer to this multitude of signals of data that we see worldwide and turn into security data. So make sure whatever you do, you've got the right tools, you've got the right processes, your people, your staff knows how to operate that. You can deliver excellent citizen service to the ones you're responsible for, to the citizens essentially, while as you are adhering to all of the concept of zero trust. Assume breach, just enough access, just in time access. So if I need something, I'm going to be allocated a certain time frame or a window in order to complete my task, and only with the right level of privileges. And remember, everything is about every defense is meant to be overtaken at some point, and we need to have a plan for resilience. What do we do? How do we turn to backups so it doesn't turn into a chaotic organization hysteria, but rather we call it an organized chaos. Everybody needs to know whenever we play the alarm, we sound the alarm, and then everybody just running backups or running to the SOC, what to do. Just having tools without the right knowledge of how to operate them, this will deem useless. So again, go and explore zero trust. We are committed to that, and make sure that whatever you do, you deploy zero trust, and then your zero trust journey will help you protect from different stages and techniques that are depicted in the MyTrade framework. Thank you.
Now, thank you for opening with several important things, and happy hear more of you in our upcoming session, Yoad. Welcome.